Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 225 of the Life in Stride podcast. Today is a banter episode between Chris and myself, Scotty, Screams. I've never called you Chris. It's always Strieg. But today we just talked about life. We talked about getting through the Christmas season. I had a stomach bug. Chris's dog pooped his pants. Yes, you heard that right. You'll have to listen to find out. We talked about what it's like to be a coach, and we talked about like before the block, during the block, and like the meat of the block, and then at the end of the block, kind of what to do and our advice on what to do. And then we finished with New Year's resolutions. We talked about your dad quite a bit, not your mom. So stay tuned to find that out. Dads in the chat, quit gatekeeping your dads. That's the moral of the story here. But hope you enjoy. If you did, give us a like, follow, share, all those kind of things. It helps us out in the end. And as always, thank you for your support. Love you, mean it.
Oh, also, we will be at the New Year's Day 10 at 10 run at Poplick Park in Louisville, Kentucky. If you are planning on coming and you do not know where to park, please let us know. There will be over 100 people there. It's a lot of fun. Me and Scotty will be there. Very easy, very chill, 10 miles at 10 a.m. in Louisville. If you need more information on where to park, DM us, comment on this episode, hit us up on Strava, whatever. We will let you know.
Figure out a way to communicate with us. We want to see you there.
Yeah.
Go to Life in Stride. Instagram is probably the best way. We'll put it on our story. That will be there. And some info on parking. But yeah, looking forward to it.
When we're running through Norton Commons or the Pewee Valley area in Louisville, Kentucky, it's pretty easy to spot Mason Construction Home. The attention to detail, the quality, the stunning design, you can't miss it. It stands out. We aren't just saying that either. Our own co-host Scotty trusted Mason Construction to build his forever home, and he and his family couldn't be happier. Don't tell Scotty this, but we're at his house a lot because we love the home. He's all right too, though. If you live in the Louisville or Southern Indiana area and are thinking about building your forever home or doing a remodel, there is nobody else to trust with this project than Mason Construction. The link to their website is in our show notes. Click on the request information option and start the conversation about what your forever home could look like.
Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 225. Holy crap. We're already a quarter way into 300 of the Life in Stride podcast. This is a banter episode coming to you hot from Louisville, Kentucky in 2 different locations. Chris and I only live 10 minutes away. We probably could do some of these banters together, but genuinely it's funny the way Riverside works. The platform we use to record these is it doesn't really work when you have 2 people because we don't have a mic set up for multiple. So if you want to help us out on a cheap way to hook up multiple mics and use Riverside, holler at us.
Dude, I think the goal is one day to have a podcast studio. I think that's the goal.
Oh,
One day, there is like a couple studios we could like rent out in Louisville, but it's not really like worth our while, I wouldn't
I don't
say.
think it's worth it. It's not going to like everybody is used to the production we've had, you know?
Yeah, I think like part of the pull with those podcast studios is that they like chop up the clips for you. There's really nice camera and stuff, but from what I have seen and from just like podcast clips in general, generally speaking, you know, and sometimes there's really good podcast clips out there that hit really well, like with major characters like Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, uh, Huberman's always a big one, Modern Wisdom guy, but like most podcast clips do not do well. That's just how it works. So like money investment into a podcast studio where they're gonna like chop clips up for us and stuff. I don't know if that makes a ton of sense. It seems like our running content in general does better. So
Well,
I don't know.
it's like if you see pages with that just post podcast clips, dude,
Yeah.
they're so dead and so boring. Where people that use like running clips, well, and that just goes to the atmosphere of social media, which is frustrating because genuinely like there's a lot of great stuff, but that people say, but if there's no hook and like fun visual effects or something for people to look at, people are just like, nah, next, you know, scrolling. Dude, I was on Instagram for, I'm just going to say it and not be embarrassed, but I checked at like 6 p.m. and I was on Instagram for 6.5 hours by 10 p.m. when I had the stomach bug. I was just And then I was
Yes.
on Netflix. I had like 11 hours of screen time.
Oh my gosh, dude. Were you
From like,
watching New Stranger Things?
all right, that was, yeah, I would watch that day. And then I finished Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, the second one. Very cool.
Dude, we started rewatching Star Wars. That's been pretty fun so far. I wish like they'd remake it in our lifetime to make like better visual effects, but it's good. It's good for sure. Like I haven't seen Star Wars in a long time, but yeah, Lord of the Rings rules, bro. Did you go nuts when you saw that fight scene?
Bro, went nuts out, absolutely nuts out. I called Sam Meredith, and I said, uh, dude, goosebumps when like homies are about to get absolutely wrecked by the orcs. They're coming in, and then all the elves come down the bridge or up the bridge, and they're
Yeah.
blowing the horn. They're like, "Oh heck yeah, bro!" They got backup. But then the orcs just kind of genuinely, in if we're being realistic, they were probably cooked. But
Yeah, if it wasn't a movie, they would have been cooked for sure.
when they
Like,
blew that wall up,
yeah, there's no way. There's
that was
no
a
way.
pretty cool scene when Aragorn was like, "Legolas, kill him," and he shot him twice, and the dude
Yeah,
he just like jumps in.
dude,
Probably the
Penny.
coolest scene in the movie though is when he like snowboards down the stairs on the shield.
Yeah. Dude, there's a lot of good parts. Oh man, I need to rewatch. They're like 3 hour long movies though. You got to really
Dude,
commit.
they're longer than that.
Yeah, they're almost four. Some of them. Yeah, worth it though. Worth it for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, dude. Well, I'm curious. I'm trying to think what other movies I haven't watched that. Nah, I mean it's just Star Wars I haven't watched in a while. Lord of the Rings I saw for the first time like a year ago. I've seen Harry Potter. I'm trying to think of other like main ones that would upset people if I haven't seen them, but I think that's it. Those are the big three.
For what it's worth, I've seen Lord of the Rings, but it was as a kid, and I think I watched them out of order because it was like a cool
Yeah.
movie to watch because of the fight scene. You know, when you're like 13.
Dude, what's the correct order to watch Star Wars? The order that they came out or the order like one, two, three, four, five, six? Because I
I was just wondering this.
asked ChatGPT and it said you can go either way. But it was like if you want to like follow the correct timeline, you do in one, two, three, four, five, six. And I was like, well, that makes sense. But
But it came out 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Something like that. So yeah, I don't know. Let us know in the comments. How do you recommend watching Star Wars? I'm on two right now, so we'll see.
Where do you
Just
watch them?
huh?
Where do you watch them?
Disney.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're on Disney Plus, bro.
I got that, bro. I have it with ads though, so you're like,
You know what's funny about Disney Plus is like it's combined with Hulu now.
yeah.
So like we used to go on Disney Plus to see just like Marvel movies and like kiddie movies. And now we go on Disney Plus and we like find like the worst horror movies possible, like the most scary horror movies. It's so funny. So you can
Dude,
find anything
Hulu
on
has like the most trash TV you can find.
there.
Like just the craziest stuff is on Hulu, I feel like.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a bunch of dumpy movies on there for sure. Um, dude, Scotty, with you being sick, I get asked all the time, like, what's the protocol with running when you're sick? And I've always told people if it's like neck and
Mhm.
above, you're good to go. And if you have no fever, fever is like fever is like a huge line. Like, do not run with a fever. 100%. That would be horrible. Make it much worse. But like if it's a cold where you just have throat, nose, sneezing, stuff like that. But like when it moves into your chest, I think that's when it's like more high risk of like this is going to get a lot worse before it gets better if you keep running. So, but I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Couple things. One, you're absolutely right. If it's like neck and up, you're chilling. Run through it. You'll be fine.
Be fine.
Even if you feel like crap,
You might feel like crap, but like
you'll be fine.
again, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. I had a head cold like a month ago. Pretty bad one. I ran through it. My heart rate was pretty high. That's the one thing. If you watch your heart rate, if it gets up into like 160, 170 for easy running,
Yeah.
just cut it short. Like maybe still get some runs in so you're not just like not running. I would never not run, but when it comes to fever, vomit, like chills, that kind of stuff, like flu symptoms, or
Yeah.
gnarly stomach bug symptoms, or dude, even like diarrhea, which I mean, sorry, Danny, for when you listen to this. I know you don't like to talk about poop, but it's a symptom of being sick. As
It's
long as you
medical.
hydrate really well, if you can stay around the bathroom, as long as it's not like every 10 minutes, like I would run through it. I mean, I had the stomach bug and it wasn't, uh, I dealt with some of that and I ran through it. I mean, I didn't run my long run. I ended up running that day. I only ran 7 and it wasn't that bad. But I feel like it's case by case, but also don't be soft about it. You know, if you can, I've ran through plenty of like, dreadful, like 12-mile runs, and it doesn't make you like miserable the next day if it's a head cold. Now, if it's in your chest, like pneumonia, and you can hardly breathe, yeah, I wouldn't push that because it can make
No.
pneumonia a lot worse.
Yeah, yeah. You get what's it called? What's the like pneumonia plus? There's like some other term for it, like something
Walking
pneumonia.
pneumonia?
Yeah, isn't that way worse?
Walking pneumonia, no, not
It's better.
necessarily. I've had both. I've had pneumonia and walking pneumonia. Walking
Whoa.
pneumonia basically. Hold on, I gotta look this up. There's too many. There's too many know-it-alls and too many doctors that listen to this podcast that are gonna call me
Wait,
out. Hold on.
dude,
What
there's
is?
some chai tea experts that listen to this podcast.
I know. Chai tea experts.
Dude, yeah, so I ordered a chai tea and I posted a photo on Strava like I always do. And I said chai tea latte. And this guy from Canada comments and he's like, chai means tea. So you're just saying TT. And I was just like, well, like that's what the
Coffee
coffee
shop
shop
says.
says. I don't care. And then we like show up to a run one day and I said chai tea. And our friend who speaks Hindu, who I respect very much, Viren, shout out to Viren, he said chai means tea in Hindu. So you're just saying TT. I was like, okay, this is someone that I know who's not an internet troll that is telling me I'm wrong. So now that changed my thoughts on it for sure. But yeah, the internet trolls, you got to be careful, man.
So, walking pneumonia can still be miserable, and it is commonly accompanied by a cough, fever, chest pain, mild chills, headache, etc. It feels more akin to a bad cold.
Oh,
Let's see. What is the difference between these two? Walking pneumonia is a milder form of pneumonia. Okay, that's what I figured. I didn't want to assume because just because I have a podcast, Mike, doesn't mean I can just say crap. I've had both. You can basically just like live on with it. I had walking pneumonia once for a while, man, and I had fever every week for like 4 weeks straight, and it
my
sucked.
gosh. So which
Lasted
one,
forever.
if you were going to run an all out 5K, would you rather have walking pneumonia or normal pneumonia?
Walking pneumonia for sure. It's the milder
Nice.
version.
Nice. All right.
Is
If
that
you're
a trick
listening to
question?
this, go for it. If you have walking pneumonia, full send your next 5K.
Absolutely. Highly recommend.
That's our medical opinion.
You can whenever I had pneumonia 3 times. And it sounds like there's like there's fluid in your lungs, but it sounds like there's like a wheeze in your breath. Like I couldn't take a full breath, and at the end of my breath it sounded like gurgling water or like a
That's
wheeze.
gnarly.
It was very uncomfortable. Dude, I got a funny story.
All
Well,
right.
it's not really a story. I put it on Instagram, but it's just like comical the way I call it God having a sense of humor. But it's just funny how life works sometimes. We've had the same washer for a while, and we got it. My great grandma passed away like the month before Alex and I got married, and so we got a ton of her furniture, and we got her washer and dryer. And so that was almost 10 years ago. And they were pretty new, I think, to her. They're like maybe 2 years old. So that's why they're like, you should take these. And we're like, sweet, we'll take it. So we've used them and moved them around. And it's like started like throwing random codes and stuff and being like errors and all this crap. And finally had this error and I couldn't fix it. And I didn't feel like fixing it. I was like, F it. Haven't bought a washer in my marriage yet. I'm going to go buy a washer. Well, the funny thing is when that happened was my whole family got ran through with a stomach bug, and my son had it pretty bad. and there was laundry beyond what you can imagine, you know, just like everything and more. This is like when you need a washer. It's like when your kids play soccer and when your kids have a stomach bug. Well, yeah, it broke the day before Tommy got the stomach bug for the last kid. And so I had to go get a washer, and it's just funny how timing works, you know. It's not that big of a
Dude.
deal, but and then I loaded it in my car myself. Did you see the story I posted?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
I just, you know, I like to keep things dicey on
Yeah.
race week always. Colin Zalman, he he is like, dude, every race it never fails. You always have something come up. You always get sick.
Yeah.
Something starts hurting. Yeah, I don't know how to avoid that. You got any advice?
Now we're 2 weeks out, so that's good that it's all happening right now. So
Yeah,
I mean, the good thing is with Houston too is like your work is a lot less demanding right now. So
yeah.
like Houston's like pretty ideal timing for you.
It actually is.
Yeah.
Like
So
I could run right now if I wanted. I mean, it's midday. We're potting.
yeah, which is great. So and but the weather's looking good now too. I've been checking. I mean, we're still 13 days out. I asked ChatGPT, I was like, how accurate is the weather forecast 2 weeks out? And it's like not very. So yeah, can't look
No,
at it
it'll
much.
change a lot. I mean, the fact that it's already been changing. Also, I did not see the same weather, brother.
Oh, you didn't? What'd you see? You saw that? You saw good or bad? You
Bad.
saw bad.
Yeah,
When did you check?
this morning
Oh, this morning? Crap. I was
I
on
got
AccuWeather. They have like a 2 week forward look at it. So
AccuWeather. I have found in my business to be very inaccurate. Fun.
oh
It's like
no.
funny. Yeah, I see 53 at start. That's the low the night before.
53 at start. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's what Chicago has been the past like 3 years, and it ends up being like 56 at start.
Yeah. I mean, if it's anything like if it's in the 50s, I'm still like not changing my race plan at all. If it's like over 60 like for most of the race, that's when I'm like, okay, I might need to pace this a little differently, you know.
It's gonna be 50. It's gonna be 55.
You you're sure? Dang.
Let me
You
check my other sources, but I'm pretty
That
sure.
the average weather I've looked at for Houston, and I'm looking in this way too much, on that day every year is like 43 or 44 low and like 62 high. Like it's usually like pretty good, and because the race starts at 7, I think. So by the
Mm.
time like me and you finish, it should be like low 50s, which is fine. Like mid 40s start, low 50s finish. Like that's fine. That's like pretty good weather, for sure. So yeah, I'm not sure what to expect because like Houston was in the, like high 80s this week for Christmas, so it's like it's kind of scary. So we'll
Terrifying.
yeah, we'll see.
We talked
Yeah,
about that. If it's high 80s, me and you we're just fun running.
yeah. I don't like. I feel like if it's high 80s or it's in the 80s, and I just go out there and like try hard and run like I don't know 10 minutes slower than my goal time, like and just waste a full send effort on that. It's just like why, you know? So I'd probably have to like make a counter move to like Mesa or something. I don't even know. I don't even want to consider like all of that. So I'm sure it's gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
Let's see. I got Houston, Texas right now in AccuWeather.
AccuWeather is the
Um,
one, dude.
I I have checked weather, the Apple weather, which honestly sucks. It's decent for temperature. Temperature on all weather apps is pretty good. Yeah, AccuWeather shows a huge cold front like the morning of the race.
So what? So what's the morning temp showing on AccuWeather? Like in the
I mean,
40s?
AccuWeather is showing like like the cold front is like moving in on like Sunday night is Saturday night is 39 degrees.
Oh,
But that
that'd be money.
weather.com is showing 53.
Weather.com. Ah,
I've always gone with weather.com for my in the chat. If you got any weather hacks, if your like dad works for like NASA or something and you got some like weather data you're like keeping from us, can you let us know? Ask your
yes,
dad.
dude. Someone listening to this has a dad that can help us out in many different ways. Get us in contact with that dad. Quit holding
Mhm.
back.
Put it in
But
the chat. Put it in the comments.
yeah. But you know, I think the weather's gonna work out fine. You know, if it's in the 50s, it is what it is. We're still gonna send. We've had good workouts in 50s, but I mean, I was running this past Sunday and it was like 64 degrees at
I was
like
hot as balls.
10 a.m. Dude, yeah, it was uncomfortable.
I was tarps off. Like, I was like, this is hot. And it was
The,
cloudy.
it's crazy because like a lot of the guys we coach are like New York, Wisconsin, Minnesota. We got a few in Canada too, and they're just like, it's like 0 degrees here, and we're getting snow daily and stuff. So like, I mean, I would rather take what we have, like the warm weather right now for sure, over like what they're dealing with. But yeah, it's been odd for sure. But I will say I am truly glad, and like I know we got plenty of people up north listening to this that are like going through a tough winter right now, but I really like the location we live, like because the
Yep.
overall speaking, the winters are like fairly moderate. Like we get 2, 3 snow, like good snows a year. It never gets like really, really like freezing cold. Like it will every now and then, but not like consistently. And then the summers are like they're hot, but they're not like I'm in Florida hot, you know. So it's kind of like it's a good middle ground area, good middle ground state. So
Dude, we were talking about how St. Louis is like just a little more gnarly
yeah,
where Danny lived.
in every way.
It's a perfect example. Today, he was like opted for treadmill, and I don't blame him. The real feel was -5 where he is. 40 mile
Wow.
per hour gusts, -5. The real feel for us was like 19 or something. And me and Striegel, by the end of it, we were like, it wasn't that bad. Like
Yeah, I was
it was
comfortable.
chilly, but it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I was comfortable this morning. Yeah, we have Monday's always like the good squad day at Norton Commons for us. Like we actually had to kick a couple people out of the chat yesterday because we have like so many new people coming in. So like the people that like don't live in Louisville at this time, like we had to kick out, which you know it is what it is. But yeah, we have like 32 people in that chat that like at least some of them are showing up like sometimes to runs. You know, we're talking like we usually run at 5:30 or 6. So yeah, it's cool to have like a group that is like so committed to like run before work like that and like meet up together. Because
I
like
know.
all of those people could run from home, probably get an extra 30 minutes of sleep doing that, but like they choose to, you know,
Nobody wants
drive.
to be alone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
We have
yeah.
a good
So
time.
Are you a runner? Do you need running shoes, gear, apparel, more? If so, I got the scoop for you. Kencom's Running Store is the best place to buy any running supplies you need. Located in the St. Matthews area of Louisville, Kentucky, the friendly staff will take excellent care of you. If you are a newer runner and need help finding the right shoes, or you're looking to get plugged into the Louisville running community, this is where you need to start. If you don't live in Louisville, check out werunlou.com. We have a discount code and the link to the website in the show notes, and the shipping is free for purchases over $100. I promise you, Matt and team are the friendliest people you can meet. Don't hesitate. Get your running supplies at Kencom's Running Store and support an amazing local business.
yeah, we have a great time, man. We have a good conversation always. Sometimes
Well,
inappropriate, but it's fine.
you know,
It's fine.
guys will be boys. Anything before 6 a.m. is free.
Yeah,
Um,
true. Anything before 6 a.m. is
I
fine.
forgot to plug this in the beginning, but if you want to run with us and you're in the Louisville area or surrounding area, I encourage you to come to this. It's the biggest Louisville run of the year. It's the New Year's 10 miles at 10 a.m. We'll post some info on our Instagram, but that's where Striegel and I will be 10 a.m. Striegel, that's one you can't be late to. You need to be there at
Yeah, I
you
was
need to
late
be there
last
at
time.
9:45.
I was late last year and I got left.
I know, and I don't want to. I want to be part of the picture, and I don't want to be
I had to
last
catch up.
because I will wait for you. But please don't be there at 10:05.
No, I won't do. Yeah, I learned my lesson last year. That was bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. I think I was like on time too, and they leave like at 10.
Yeah, they like start at 10. Yeah, so I need to be on it, dude. Yeah, Mike Korf was telling us about that. He said he's expecting over 100 people. I'm pretty stoked about it.
I mean, the Norton Commons group should bring like 15, 20 maybe.
Yeah, and everyone's off work that day, like most people are. So I think it's gonna be fun. And I mean, we met Kenny there last year, Life and Stride coach. So who are we gonna meet? Who are we gonna meet this year? That's gonna, you know, join our business or be lifelong friends. I don't know.
Totally forgot about that. That was like 1 year ago is when we met Kendi.
Yeah, we were like, who's the girl that's keeping up with Caroline running 7 minute pace? And
I know she was flying.
she had BYU stuff on. We were like, dang, BYU runner in town. But
Are we gonna go 7-minute pace this year, bro?
we did last year. I don't know. We'll see. I would prefer not to because it's the day after
That's gonna be
lumberjack.
post lumberjack, bro. We're gonna be our backs are gonna be.
You were about to say something else.
No, I wasn't. I was gonna make a lumberjack joke.
Oh, okay. Oh,
I'm gonna bring an axe, bro. I'm gonna bring an axe for you to take a picture with.
Oh, you should. That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. We'd have
I
to
have a
like do
couple.
it.
You want a pickaxe or an axe?
What's the difference?
You don't know the difference?
What, a pickaxe?
You know what a
that like
pickaxe is?
Is that like a little axe?
A pickaxe is like what the cartoon character in Looney Tunes has with the point, the prospector. No, in not Looney Tunes, Toy Story. The prospector. It's like the point with the flat end on the other side. It's like got an axe on one side and then a point on the other.
Oh, and then I don't know. Whatever one's gonna look cool for the photo.
Pickaxe looks cooler,
Oh, pickaxe then.
but a lumberjack is like what you would chop wood with.
Oh. No one's gonna know the difference. If I don't know the difference, most people aren't gonna know the difference.
Until they do know the difference.
Yeah, some of those blue collar guys out there are gonna know for sure.
Strickle, what's your favorite fruit?
Oh, bananas, easy.
What's your favorite vegetable?
Ooh, vegetable. I don't like a lot of vegetables, man.
Really?
Probably carrots. Yeah, probably carrots.
You don't like vegetables?
I mean, I'll eat a salad, but like, I'm never looking forward to it.
What about? Do you like Brussels sprouts?
Only if they're prepared a certain way, like they're
Like sautéed, like
yeah,
garlic,
like heavily
salt,
seasoned. Yeah.
butter.
Yeah.
What about
yeah.
green beans?
Yeah, I'll eat green beans. I'll eat broccoli, asparagus, all that. I mean, I'll eat all the vegetables, most of them, but I
What
just like
vegetable can you just not stand?
not stand. Oh, cauliflower. I don't like cauliflower that much. I mean, I'll
Dude,
eat it,
cauliflower
but
is one of my favorite.
dude, no. I'll eat cauliflower rice because I just think it's rice, but it's really not. But yeah, no. I'll eat most vegetables. I prefer fruit for sure. You know.
Have you ever had dragon fruit?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's not that good.
It actually like has a ton of fiber in it, I think, and it makes you like go to the bathroom. So
Makes you
Yeah.
pee.
yeah. Dude, speaking of that, bathroom stuff. Back to the poop stuff. So we were. My dog has like pajamas that Ashley likes to put on her on Christmas morning. And they're like a little too big on her, so we have to kind of like roll them up, and they'll like cover her tail and like butt and stuff if we don't like have her rolled up well, or if she's like moving around in it too much. So we get to my parents' house, and like the first thing that she does is like she goes in the yard and she has her pajamas on, and they're like, we hadn't rolled them up yet. So they're like covering her tail and her butt. And she drops the dookie and like poos in her pajamas, bro. So yeah, so I had to like deal with that like right when we got to my parents on Christmas morning, which was funny. So I went back to my parents yesterday evening and picked up the cleaned pajamas. But yeah, it was a whole ordeal. We had to wipe her off and stuff. It was our fault, like for putting the pajamas on her. But yeah, that's how my Christmas morning started. My dog pooed her pants. So literally,
Dude, just wait until next Christmas morning.
yeah, true.
You'll be
True.
just changing a diaper of poop.
Dude, I've been worried that there's a second baby hiding behind that first one. I don't know. We'll see. That people say that happens, you know.
Oh yeah?
I don't know. That's what they say. I don't know.
Doubt it, but that would be crazy.
Dude, I'm sick of hearing all like the wives' tales. Like people are telling me like, oh, like you have a zit on your face, it's a girl, you know, or like, you know, stuff like that. I'm just like, dude, like
Back to God having a sense of humor.
huh?
It don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, none of that matters. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But, dude, I wanted to touch on someone commented on the YouTube and said that they wanted to know what midweek workouts like someone should do during a marathon block, and then also maybe just how like a build is structured. So I wanted to kind of touch on that on this pod, at least how I do it, how for myself and how I coach people. So I guess we'll start with maybe it might make more sense to start like with how I structure the block. Um, I have learned this from several coaches along the way. Canova. I mean, I've learned different workouts from all sorts of people: high school coach, college coach, just seeing other people, what they're doing on Strava, stuff like that. So it's not really like following anyone's specific plan, even some Jack Daniel stuff, but this is how I like to do it. Seems to work pretty well. Again, there's a lot of different ways you can go when structuring training. There's a lot of different ways to get from A to B successfully. So you just got to find what works for you. But so obviously, I think I've talked about this several times. I like a 12-week marathon build. Does that mean you're showing up to the marathon build not in shape? No, it does not mean that. You're still training before the marathon build. You're just doing more base building stuff. Well, it depends where you are and what the situation is. A lot of times when I coach people, we actually do a speed block before we hop into marathon training. So we'll do 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathon, stuff like that, improve the top end speed, and then we'll dive into more marathon stuff. So, but if it's like obviously a newer runner or some like, depends on the situation really, what we're doing before the build. Because in that situation, we might want to do more base building stuff before we dive in. But um, yeah, I would really recommend like do not just like take a ton of time off in between marathon blocks. For example, I just came off a sacral stress fracture in the summer. I was out for 2 months, and I'm in good shape now for Houston. But if I had ran those 2 months instead of being off, and I cross trained some, but not as much as I should have. If I had run those 2 months, I would have started in a much fitter spot going into this build and probably would have ended up today in like 2 minutes or a minute at least better shape for this marathon than I am now. So you still want to be in pretty good shape 12 weeks out from your marathon. I'm not saying that, but so just keep that in mind. Like you still want to be training, doing workouts before you start your marathon block. It kind of just depends where you are. If you're a newer runner, might want to do more base building stuff. If you're a more experienced runner, trying to go for a pretty fast time at your next marathon, doing a speed block before the marathon, 400s, 800s, race a couple of 5Ks, 10Ks, stuff like that, hill sprints, that kind of stuff, 200s at the end of workouts. That is a good thing to do. And what I do with a lot of our more experienced guys is speed block before the marathon block. And obviously, it's fun too to race other distances than just focusing on half marathon and marathon. For like, it's pretty fun after a marathon block to like get on a start line and be like, oh, like I'm doing a 10K. This is going to be fun. So, but Scotty, I just talked about what I would recommend people do before marathon build. And I
Right.
said either like you do like if you're a less experienced runner, you might want to do some more base building stuff. So like slowly increase volume, do like fartleks, longer hills. I don't know, like just classic base building stuff. But if you're more experienced, then you could do like a speed block where you're doing faster stuff, touching the track some, racing some 5Ks, 10Ks, that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. I think we talked about this before a little bit. I think it really just depends on the runner and like kind of what you said, experience or non-experience, but also like if you have 5Ks and 10Ks that you're willing to do that are around you, and just what you're willing to do, where you are injury wise, where you are life wise. Sometimes a marathon block can take a lot out of people. Like
yeah,
with life and with family, like sometimes it's a lot on like your wife and your kids the time, so sometimes people need to like scale back. But if your goal is to get faster and like to ultimately like have a BQ or to get a certain time, I think it's pretty important that in the off season you still have structure. But sometimes it's nice to not be at like insane mileage, like 50 to 70 miles if you're in the like novice range, right in the middle.
yeah,
But yeah, I think what Streak said is great to do, like speed block in the beginning, but also there's a million different ways to do it. I mean,
yeah,
the way Streak and I coach, I think, I mean, I kind of learned this from Streak with coaching, but I'm not sure how Danny does it exactly, but I rotate between interval work and threshold and VO2, or sorry, not VO2, intervals VO2 stuff, but threshold and tempo, like in a 3-week segment. And then long runs in the beginning of a block, sometimes I give all easy, but otherwise I just give like maybe like a little pace work, but usually just steady on the long run. And then like middle of the block, I'll give like bigger blocks of steady. So like 18, like for a half marathon, I'll give like 16 miles with the last 6 steady, something like that.
yeah.
maybe like a little closer to marathon pace because it's for a half marathon, but just something to keep fitness but build mileage a bit. And I kind of just build all of the meat in the middle, in the midweek stuff. But once I get later in the block, it starts to get pretty serious, right?
Yeah, I think what you said on like threshold, tempo, and VO2, like that's kind of the core of our coaching. I think at this point, like, um, so normally, and this is how me and Scotty both train too, is like we alternate. So we'll do tempo work one week, we'll do intervals, so VO2 or critical velocity, that's 5K or 10K pace stuff. Intervals with longer rest, shorter intervals, 800s, 400s, 1Ks. The tempos, we'll start a block at like 5-6 mile tempo, depending on the runner, get up to 8 to 10 miles of tempo work. And then the threshold work is longer intervals with short rest. So, yeah, we're looking at 1Ks, mile repeats, 2Ks. And then if you're doing double threshold, different story. You'll do that in the morning, and then the afternoon you'll do 400s, 800s, stuff like that, a little faster, again, with short rest. But the key to this training is that you need to up the volume of it and then make it harder as you're getting fitter. So there's two different ways to go about it. Like the first block of 3 weeks will be maybe a lighter overall load where there's less intervals, slower pace. But then as you get fitter throughout the block, you're going to lower the rest on a lot of these workouts. So maybe your threshold, the rest in between intervals is going to get lower. We're going to add volume to your threshold workouts. We're going to add volume to tempo workouts, make those longer. And then same with VO2 workouts. We're going to maybe shorten the rest a bit, add some more reps, make them faster as you're getting fitter. So that's kind of how the progression of the block works. Like we'll start with the baseline tempo, threshold, VO2, critical velocity workouts. And then as you get fitter, we're going to cut rest, make the rest a little shorter. We're going to add more volume to those workouts. And then, ideally those workouts are progressing faster, getting harder as you're getting fitter along the way. And then like Scotty said, I like what he said about long runs earlier in the block. Earlier in a marathon block, you do not need to be doing those huge marathon pace segments yet. So, you'll see at a lot of the end of our blocks, we'll do like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, a marathon pace workout. We'll do 2 by 6 miles at marathon pace as our peak long run, stuff like that. And we don't do those at the beginning of the block because those are very tiring on the legs. With that being said, like earlier in the block, we can still do some pace work. We'll do steady pace. We'll do progressions that are slower than marathon pace. All of that is still super beneficial, but it's not, trashing your legs like marathon pace does. You're still getting huge aerobic benefit, but we're going to save like those really hard, tough long runs for the end of the block because we do need some of that, right? We can't do it every week, but we do need some of it to have the legs in a good position to run that pace for a long time on race day. But yeah, the steady pace progressions, even like marathon pace, like 1 mile on a marathon pace, one mile off at a slower pace, stuff like that. We can mix in earlier in the build, but the really like marathon specific marathon pace blocks, long runs, we usually save towards the end of the build. So yeah, that's kind of how we structure a build for ourselves and for people we coach. You're muted, Scotty.
That workout you just said, the mile on off, I hated that workout in the past. I don't know why. It's just a me thing, but I did it with a group this time, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think like one thing that with that workout is, one, it's better with a group, and then two, I think it's good to assign like off paces on that one because I think you get like more stimulus if you like are not running just like jogging in between those reps. I think if and you don't have to be going like really fast during those reps, but like if you're running, for someone like you to be running 6:45 to 7 minute pace in between, like you're going to get more out
like
of the workout than running.
fast end of easy to keep it honest. So make sure
like
your
keep
heart rate
dialing it
isn't
up.
getting down to like 120.
Yeah.
It says like 150 or something.
Yeah. So I like that workout. It's a good one. It's a staple for sure. And that's another one where you can like do it earlier in the build because it's pretty broken up with marathon pace stuff. It's a good way to like introduce marathon pace for sure. But yeah, at the end of the build, when you do like 7 by mile on off on a workout, like, and the floats are like decently fast, that's like a pretty hard workout. So,
Yeah.
It's a really good one. So,
Dude,
yeah.
we can talk about training if you want, or we can talk about a New Year's resolution. I have two.
Ooh, yeah, go ahead.
I never do, but we have two. I have two. We'll probably do a training update before. We can save that.
All right.
Like final thoughts before Houston. But I have two New Year's resolutions. One I'm gonna do with my wife. I haven't confirmed with her. We talked about it like a month ago, but we're gonna charge our phones in the other room.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
And for at least the first month, try and do a little reset. Charge phones in the other room, which means I got to get an alarm clock, I guess.
You can use your
And
watch.
then, yeah, I could use my watch. Sometimes I don't wake up, but I should be able to wake up because I'm getting more sleep in the off season. But, and then read a book at night a little bit. I'm gonna read the Bible. I'm gonna follow your advice.
It's a good way to end the day, bro.
Yeah, bro. And then my second one is by the end of 2026. I'm really hoping to do it in January or February when I have a day or two. I want to make my podcast backdrop fun. I want to like make this whole wall like fun.
Ooh, nice.
Like make it like pretty like you know, exciting. So
Yeah.
hopefully my wife can help, but maybe a little bit of internet inspiration and then just get some stuff rolling.
Dude, yeah, we need to get some LED lights behind us, dude, for sure. That's what we need.
We should. With our nicknames. Ooh,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, or just like
Have you seen that guy on Instagram, the signs guy that does like really horrible videos?
Yeah.
He's from overseas somewhere in
I think it's more in
Asia.
Asia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in like China or something, I think. And he's like, we ship anywhere.
Yeah.
It'll be like something like super not politically correct, like a really like obese woman. And he'll be like, no one cares, but you should get your sign at like the videos are kind of like definitely not politically correct, but it's just kind of funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll definitely shop local. Don't you worry, people. I'm not actually going to buy his signs. I'm going to shop local.
Yeah, we're gonna shop local. I think like something like LIS in green with like a yellow lightning bolt would be cool, but
Ooh, we should get that.
Like an orange lightning bolt, like our logo. Yeah, that'd be cool.
If anybody here listening to this podcast has a hookup with it, if their dad has a sign business,
yeah,
let us know.
Guys, I know you guys listening are hiding your dads out there.
You're gatekeeping your dads from us, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, quit playing.
Bring your dads into this.
Okay.
You got any New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, I mean, I think this was mine last year, but stop being 10 minutes late to everything for sure. I'm late to everything in my life, like family parties, church.
Have you ever dove into like why that is? Because like 5:30 start time, you know it every time. So like,
I mean, it doesn't matter what the start time is. I'm always late, bro.
All right, that's what I'm saying. So it doesn't like when you are supposed to show up at my house at 12.
Yeah,
like,
show up.
You're
12
not
times.
like sleep isn't the issue.
No, I'm not sleeping. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I just get too comfortable with. I just like. I think. Well, I don't want to put blame on. Like, I'm not putting blame on anyone, but I think like people just need to start like leaving, like and like make me catch up when I am late to things, like, or just like start without me. Because
I'm worried if we start doing that, then you'll just stop showing up.
No. I think like I'm just too comfortable with like people looping around for me and stuff, or just like being used to it. Maybe I need a little pushback on that. But
I'll tell you what, try this method. Okay. So, here's what I do. Cheston started doing this, and no one like I tried to explain this before. Danny was like, "Doesn't make any sense." I'm pretty sure you were like, "Whatever." No one understands it, but Cheston started doing it, and he was like, "You're onto something." Type it in Apple Maps so that it pops up on your phone screen. Type it in Apple Maps where you're going. So like Norton Commons YMCA,
and then it's giving you an ETA,
and then it gives you your ETA, and your ETA bumps it up to your start time. So your start time is like if your start time's 5:30, your ETA will say 5:15, and you're like, okay, I have 15 minutes. But then like with like 5 minutes, if start time's 5:30 and it's like 5:25, you're like, okay, I need to be walking to the car. 5-minute warning for yourself.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I want to see you start. We got you early once this year, and it was because you misinterpreted the start time.
Yeah, I was 5 minutes early. I thought we were starting at what?
You thought we were starting 30 minutes prior.
Yeah, something like that. 15 maybe. Yeah. I was like 5 minutes early, and I was like, dang, they probably ran a mile and a half already, and I was 5 minutes early. So
Heck yeah.
Worked out good, man. But
You should try it. Try the GPS thing next week. See if it helps.
Yeah, I'll do that. The 10 at 10 is going to be a good test to see how serious I am about the new year. I think, I don't know, like my morning routine is like way too long too for that's like my main issue in the mornings is like I have a whole stretching routine that I like have to do every day. Like I just
Yeah.
refuse to not do it. And then, and then my dog comes downstairs and I got to feed her. Like I don't allow enough time for like let her go to the bathroom, all this stuff. So like, yeah, I don't allow enough time for like my morning routine. I need to go to bed earlier. So then like I'm less afraid to set my alarm 15 minutes earlier and like lose that 15 minutes of sleep.
That's a hard one to change. Like being a night owl, that is a tough one. My wife was an extreme night owl until we had kids. And then when we had kids, it like completely reset her and she started going to bed early.
Dude, I finished lifting at 11:30 last night and we ran at 6 a.m. So
dude, I was asleep for 2 hours by then.
Yeah, I know. Like, and that's granted, I took a nap after the run, but like a better setup would be go to bed at 10, take no need for a nap, or go to bed at 9:30, no need for a nap, that would just be better in general. And I
just find myself more productive in the morning. So like if you take a 2-hour nap every morning, like then your workday doesn't start till, like 10:30 or something, 10:45 or 11.
Yeah.
Then it's just pushed back. I don't know. To each his own. You can do whatever you want. It's your life. But
I don't know of any other things I got. I started lifting this year. That would be one if I wasn't doing it. That's been a huge plus. Shout out to my lift coach, Chris Sadler. For that.
You've been doing good with that. A lot more consistent than I am. I've been still trying to do once a week. I gotta do some Achilles stuff. What do you do for Achilles? My right Achilles is tight.
Dude, I got an update on the calf raises. Everyone gives me crap for the calf raises. So when you're doing calf raises, first of all, do single leg ones. Don't do both legs. And then also when you're like at the top of the calf raise and you're like single leg, you got to hold it for like 45 seconds right there and then like come down. That's the key. I was talking to podiatrist Russell Baker about this. Russell Baker, MD, about this.
He's our cankle doctor.
Yeah, he's our cankle doctor, and he said that's the move. So
I love Russell.
Yeah,
he's always shows up Mondays. He doesn't show up any other day. Sometimes Saturdays. But he doesn't show up any other day. But you best believe that man shows up Monday, and he's always a vibe on Mondays.
Dude, I had a call with him like a week or two ago. He just called me on his way home from work. He's got a long commute, and he was just like, "I want to get more serious about running." Like he was like, I want to up the mileage. I want to like work out with the guys, all that. And I was just like, dude, I'm so here for this,
Dude, heck yeah. Yeah, I know you said he was a little bummed like when people like go off on runs, and I would be too. That would give me enough motivation to be like, frick it, let's get in shape.
Dude,
there's a couple guys coming up that are getting in shape, man.
Dude, I know. We're going to have a elite, sub-elite squad. Like there's a lot of good guys in Louisville. It's like there's nothing more fun than like seeing you guys like with like a pack of 6 guys like working out together on like a random Wednesday, like rolling like a bunch of like 230 to 240 guys just working out together. It's good vibes.
Yeah. You can pretty much always work out. Like even if it's in that range, 230 to 240, you can pretty much work out together. Some people might be going too hot, some people might not be going hot enough, but at the end of the day, you're like you can, if somebody wants a little more, they can do 8-mile repeats instead of 6, or 12 by K instead of 10, or something like that, or too hard after a 6-mile tempo or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to do training update or save that
next time, bro?
Next time.
That's a wrap.
Next banter is gonna be Houston Marathon preview, I guess, huh?
Yeah, those are usually some of our best.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. I want to go over the course too. I've never been there, so I kind of want to like figure out what the course is like and all that.
Yep. So, we'll do it. This is episode 225 of the Life in Stride podcast. If you enjoyed this podcast, please give us just do all the things. Go to YouTube, subscribe, go to Instagram, follow. And the biggest help would be share this podcast with a friend and give us a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple, wherever you find your podcasts. Spotify is kind of tricky. If you've listened to our podcast, you're able to do it. But on our page, there's 3 dots on the top. Click the 3 dots and it'll say rate this show. So that is how you do it. And I would greatly appreciate if you gave us a review. It helps a lot, I think. And
Yeah, I
follow
think it does.
our podcast on Spotify or Apple as well.
Yeah, I'll put like so FYI, if you're coming to the run on New Year's Day, type in John Floyd Fields is where we meet, the soccer field. It's called John Floyd Fields. I'll put this in the show notes. But
yeah, we'll
because
put it on Instagram too the day before.
yeah, if you just have in public park, it's going to not take you exactly to where parking is. So if anyone is coming that normally doesn't run with us or isn't familiar with public park, let us know exactly where to
DM
park.
us on Instagram too. If you have a question, DM us.
Yeah, we'll help you out. I would love to see people there that normally don't show up. So that'd be cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, I hope everybody can show. Everybody.
Within driving distance, yeah, for sure. But
Yep.
all right, episode 225. Peace.
So we're out.